Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here today. If you keep up with my videos, you know I really love the Laura Geller brand. I think they have some amazing products. I think they're very underrated. I have a whole video talking about a really poreless foundation routine that involves her double take baked powder foundation and the spackle mattifying primer. Like, I've really come into some different things that I enjoy so much. And then there are more long-standing things for me, like the bronze and brighten, balance and brighten, the blushes that I've really used on and off for years, and I just feel like it's a really high quality brand. Well, not that long ago, I want to say about a month-ish ago, I got sent a couple of big boxes just chock full of Laura Geller makeup. So one of them had face products and the other one had eye and lip stuff, and a lot of it was stuff I'd never tried before or maybe never even knew existed in the line. And so that's what I'm going to make my full face out of today, is some of this other stuff that I just never really knew that much about from this brand. But if you've got a familiarity with some of these things, please let me know in the comment section what you think about it. One of the things that was sent was, instead of just the spackle mattify, which I really like, by the way, it goes on, and you might think with different mattifying primers like, oh, it's going to make you look chalky or dry, but it really doesn't. The texture is absolutely beautiful. It just basically takes away the look of your pores. But another kind of spackle was sent here, and it's the original, and it says Ethereal Rose Glow on it. So I got a Band-Aid there. I cut myself while trying to saw open an English muffin yesterday morning. Yep, serrated knife feels amazing on the tip of the finger. So I'm just blending this in, and you will see the really pretty soft glow, but yet you don't feel like the product actually has shimmer in it. But look at the radiance just immediately. It's fun when primers just do something for your skin and you notice it right off the bat. It's kind of exciting. This adds a lot of moisture as well, and I believe there's also like a champagne tone. Another thing that came that I was not familiar with at all, I had heard about this, but I'd never tried it. It's the Quenching Tint Hydrating Foundation, and I have this in light medium. And this, I think, is kind of a neat little product here. I think it's great that she has that option outside of just the baked products that she's known for, and it's nice to see that there are some other, like, alternatives, other formats. So I squeezed out about a pearl-sized amount. I'm going to dab this around, and you'll be able to see what kind of coverage this gives. It's a really light coverage, but very, very hydrating. And it kind of just gives the skin an overall little perk up, you know? I would say it's also not even quite as much coverage as what I see out of the Wet n Wild Bare Focus Tinted Hydrator. So while I like this product and I think it gives the skin just a real dewiness, and that may be what some people want, light coverage but like a big hydration boost, it's not a bad product. It's actually really, really pretty on the skin. But I don't come away from this personally feeling like, oh, this is a mega must-have. This is kind of like, oh, okay, it's nice that that's offered in the line, but I probably still wouldn't seek it out to buy it again. Now, concealer-wise, I had talked about the Ideal Fix concealer from Laura Geller. This is like a newer concealer. It's a really nice high coverage, doe foot applicator concealer, but also sent in my package was the Real Deal concealer. I remember when this was in a little bit different packaging and I used it years back. I remember being in the other house, and this says Advanced Serious Coverage, and I have it in light, and this really is thick and really creamy. It kind of reminds me of IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye. It's just really, really a potent concealer. So I'm going to dab this around and then blend it in, and you'll see what I mean. Like, it has moisture, a lot of moisture, and in with that is some pretty potent coverage. I would say this feels maybe a little bit lighter than what I remember using, and it was in like kind of a little rectangular shaped squeeze tube before. This seems, I could be wrong because it has been a long time, but this seems a little bit lighter than that stuff. But I'm just dabbing it all around. That skin tint gave very light coverage, Then I'm going to dab over this. I'm just using that same brush, the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush, and you can see this handling a lot in this area. This is not a concealer that's gonna like dry down on you real quick or anything like that. It's kind of along the lines of the Maracuja concealer from Tarte. It's called Maracuja Creaseless Concealer, and it has that really emollient quality to it. pressing that in everywhere, and this is the Pro Concealer number 57 brush from Sephora, and it's just kind of like an extra fingertip, and I just use that right here around the inner corner. Look at that, like the coverage is really beautiful there. Any amount of coverage that you see around the eye area, that's what this handled, because the Skin Quench and Tint didn't really cover that much. So yeah, I feel like the addition of that gives the skin a really flawless glow, and I just have kind of a dewiness all over. It's definitely the kind of feel all over my skin that I would be very tempted to set in order to have my all-day staying power. I'm kind of a normal to dry skin type, and really here lately, very much just a straight-up normal. Like I haven't had a lot of dry trouble patches on my skin. Trouble patches, what are those? It's early, y'all. I remember thinking in another Laura Geller video I did using the different powder foundation things and thinking like, okay, we need something light available to set the under eye, either a loose powder or a pressed translucent powder. I was feeling the need for that, and I didn't even realize that she actually does make that. This is called Matte Maker Advanced Oil Blotting Face Powder, and I don't believe this came with any kind of puff or sponge, which is a little odd for, what might be a travel touch-up powder, but I will just use my e.l.f. small tapered brush here, and this gets the job done. To me, it just feels like a real standard translucent powder. As you can see, it's mattifying my glow. It is doing what it says it will do. It's decreasing the look of any pores around my nose area for sure. So yeah, it makes you mad. I just wouldn't say like, oh, you have to spend Laura Geller money on this because you just can't get it elsewhere. Like, I've got some Milani Make It Last setting powder, and it's probably about the same kind of deal. The texture of this is nice and soft, and that can be something to watch out for when it comes to over-application. When a purely white translucent powder has a very soft texture, you can sometimes run the risk of looking too powdery, too cakey, too dry on the skin when you apply it. There's a reason why Too Faced Primed and Poreless, like that really does a good job on the skin, because it's super firm. It's white, but it's firm, and you don't get too much on your brush at one time. This, you have to pace yourself a little bit in terms of the amount, but I do want a little more setting all over the rest of the face. I think what I'll do is just do a dusting of Balance and Brighten all over the rest. So I mentioned the Double Take Powder Foundation. That was a big part of the matte and poreless foundation routine I mentioned in a past video that looks like this. There's no swirled, marbleized powder thing going on here, but it is a baked powder foundation. Balance and Brighten of the two is the more like light coverage, light, probably building to medium coverage, I would say, with this. And so all I'm going to do here, I wear this in medium, and this is something I just already had on hand, but I'm just going to blend this lightly all over the rest of the skin just to kind of get an all-over even texture. And it is adding a little coverage, by the way, as well. Now, as far as bronzer goes, I knew about Bronze and Brighten, and I knew that came in multiple tones. Like, I wear the medium in Bronze and Brighten, and I think it's one of my favorite bronzers that I own. It never fails me, gives the perfect tone, perfect amount of pigmentation, and I love like the swirls of different tones within it. Also, that stuff will just flat out last you forever. And I didn't know that they had a baked Bronze and Brighten in a shade called Tuscan Sun, so that was sent my way. And look at this, it's like got some glow to it, much more glowy compared to regular Bronze and Brighten. I'm seeing a shimmer, if not a satin finish, maybe more satiny finish on the deeper brown up here, and then like a shimmery sort of peachy copper swirl in there, along with some golden swirl. So I'm going to use this today so you can see what it's all about. It is pretty, it's pigmented, but it's just a more glowy baked bronzer from Laura Geller here that I just didn't even know existed. See that? I really like it actually. This was one of the very fun finds out of this whole bunch of things that was sent my way. And no, there was no like required to do a video. The package came out of the blue. I don't do like required videos from brands. I don't do sponsorships because I just like to maintain the decision-making control over my channel and whatnot. But obviously, receiving what I did, it made me look through things and go, oh, this is a brand I love, but there's a lot I didn't know about here. So it's fun for me to put it all together here for you. So see that? I can totally contour with this. It is a little warmer, definitely quite a bit warmer compared to my regular Bronze and Brighten. That's right. Pre-K drop-off says, "Where'd you get that tan, girlfriend?" Nice. No, nobody really notices. We just kind of float in and float out, it seems like. So that is all over. It's got some glow. Maybe you can kind of see a little bit on the forehead. What's going on there? Really happy with that bronzer. I think it was a fun find for me. Now, for the blush, I got a split pan blush with a couple of shades I'd never tried before. This is called the Multi-Purpose Duo in Ethereal Rose and Subtle Satin Berry right here. So both are swirled colors. That Ethereal Rose looks very, very soft, but I am going to apply some of that, pick it up with my e.l.f. blush brush. See how that's practically like highlight? Like, it's really interesting. I had to put it on first so you would really know where what I put on was coming from, but it just gives you like a subtle pearlescent